Welcome back everyone, the third part of the video. As a result, in 1933, Hitler declared himself the dictator of Germany. After taking over full control of the country, Hitler started working on making his dream of a German empire come true. German Reich, a state that would be racially pure. Its residents would be people of the Aryan race only. There would be no space for Jews and Slovaks. To fill people with hatred, they came up with a Judeo-Bolshevism conspiracy theory. According to this conspiracy theory, the Russian Revolution in 1917 was supposedly caused by the Jews, which eventually led to the formation of the Soviet Union. In 1935, the rest of the world came to know that Germany had an air force. This might not seem like a big deal to you, after all, every country has its air force. But friends, the Treaty of Versailles laid down the condition that Germany cannot have any form of military power. This was an open violation of the Treaty of Versailles by Hitler. But by this point in time, many people in Britain believed that the contents of the Treaty of Versailles were very unfair to Germany. They were asking for such a large ransom, that crippled the country, and the country wasn't even allowed to have military. People consider it to be very demanding. In June 1935, Britain signed the Anglo-German Naval Agreement. This formally recognized that Hitler had the authority to form his navy. Germany could have an independent navy, but the growing militarization in Germany alerted France. France built a 450 kilometers long fortification on its eastern border. This was named the Maginot Line. In 1938, when Hitler believed that his military was sufficiently prepared, he focused his attention on their neighbor Austria. Austria was a must-have country for Hitler. He wanted all German-speaking countries to unite as one nation. His ultimate goal was not only to conquer as many countries as possible to satisfy his pride, but also to acquire its resources to advance his own country. The people Hitler believed to be racially superior, his Aryan race, he wanted to give them Lebensraum, to give them living space, so that they could live freely. In February 1938, Hitler met Austrian Chancellor Kurt Schuschnigg. He was forced into signing an agreement. The agreement allowed Hitler to place pro-Nazi people on the Austrian government. The Austrian government was infiltrated by appointing his own people, for example Dr. Hans Fischbatilde Pilkrock. He was supposed to be the new finance minister of Austria. He was a Nazi, and the other Nazis who were in jail were set free by him. Within a month, things were out of control. Austrian Chancellor knew that if the infiltration was to be stopped, the people needed to be consulted first. Whether Austria should be an independent country or be a united country with the Nazis, he decided to have a national vote for it. As soon as Hitler found out about the national vote, Hitler took his army and marched into Austria. The German military entered Vienna, but the Austrian Chancellor wanted no bloodshed. He resigned from his seat. Hitler used his propaganda ministry to spread fake news of riots happening in Vienna, and how the communists were responsible for the riots. And so the Austrian government asked the German army to help them protect Austria. The next day, the Austrian parliament was dissolved and Austria ceased to be an independent country. This invasion was successful without any bloodshed. A major reason for this was that at this point, many people in Austria were in Hitler's favor. They were victims of the propaganda. They believed Hitler's invasion would help them, that Hitler could make their country into a superpower. After taking over Austria, Hitler moved on to the next country, Czechoslovakia. On Czechoslovakia's border, there was the region Sudetenland. Of the people living here, around 3 million were Germans. Hitler used that as an excuse to claim that region as Germans, due to the Germans living there. Here British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain came into the picture. He wanted to avoid a war at all costs. Thank you for watching. Very soon I will discuss the next part of the video.